Let's take a minute and talk about smoothing pores and skin, softening things up just a little bit. So here's a picture that is a public domain image that we'll work on today. And we're going to go in and do some softening here. Since the overall face is a little bit rough, let's zoom in. I hit Command and plus to zoom in a level here, and we will go and into the filter menu. Let's go to the blur gallery, and there is a special blur tool called the surface blur tool. The surface blur tool works by looking at broad expanses and smoothing those, but when it gets to edges, it tries to leave the edges alone. So you'll see that it hasn't really blurred much right here. You can set your radius to how many pixels you want it to move out. I would suggest a fairly low number, 3, 4 pixels. You can set your threshold to how far you want that to reach out, and the farther you go on the threshold, the more it's going to blur. So I'd leave your threshold just kind of look like at the highlights in the eyes and on the lips and so forth, and set a threshold about right there. I'll click OK, and Photoshop will go to work and smooth that. Now I would suggest using the spot healing brush tool and just going in and smoothing up just spots that look like they could use some help. So I'm just going over some areas that still look a little bit rough, but hold my space bar down so it turns into my hand tool, and then I can Alright, so as we take a look there, that's before, and that's after. Before and after. You can also get your patch tool. So if you find an area that's a little bit rough, like right here in this area, you can say draw a lasso around it with the patch tool and move it over to a smoother area of the skin, and that will bring some of the texture in there and try and heal that. So the patch tool is a very nice tool to work with. Again, there's where we began, and this is what we have now. Quite powerful.